Hey, this is Jam for Different Skill, bringing you the third part of the ZX tutorial. Now, this part of the tutorial will be on actually how to play the game. Yay! So, I know the first tutorial and the second, I guess, let's see. Yeah, the first and the second tutorial weren't really how to play the game, more like how do you build your deck and how you should build your deck. So now I'm going to teach you guys how to play, for those of you guys who don't know how to play. So, this is where your battlefield is. There are two player squares. This is where your player card and your opponent's player card will be residing. So do note that you don't have to have a player card. Regardless if I'm not sure, this is not 100% sure because it's kind of worded vaguely. It says the game does not need to have a player card to continue. Neither player must have a player card in order for the game to continue. Now, regardless if this means that you can just say, oh yeah, I'm this person, or oh yeah, I'm this person. I am not sure, so don't quote me on it. But one thing that I do know is that certain boss cards need player cards to activate effects. Now, actually, I'm going to use a different deck. I'll find it later. Just because I like the other character a bit more. Let's see, where is it? Get out of here. I don't like the guy, I just like the view. But you know what? Screw it. Anywho. So, on to how to play the game. So, first of all, this is, pretty standard stuff. Set up the board, this is how your board looks like. Then you both find a card from your deck that has the trait start card. Now, what is a start card? A start card is a card with an effect, or the effect of start card, which is pretty self-explanatory. Most often, start cards will have abilities that activate in the charge. Now, this is important because the first card that you lose goes into your charge, and you can use them to start off your game. Poorly, good, not good, etc. So here is the start card from the white deck, and this is the start card from my black-green deck. So both players start with it here. There's no stand up the Vanguard crap, so don't worry about it. And then each player draws, draws 4 cards from his or her deck, respectively. Of course, I'm using both white sleeves because the only sleeves I actually use are white and black, so bear with me. So let's see. Shuffling, cut, whatever you want. Alright, so I'm going to play for the green deck first. So I'm going to draw 5 cards, or 4 cards. And let's say, okay, this is a good hand. It actually is, so I'm going to say, I'll keep. So, hand goes somewhere, it doesn't matter. Then you take the top 4 cards, like so. Oops, that's 5. And then you put them in your damage zone. Now, for those of you who can't see it, because fine, I'll just get one side then, because one side actually has all of the zones. Okay, so this is your damage zone. It's actually cut off on the mat too. Here, I'll just show you guys. It's like this, and yes, that's the Yukari mat underneath it. So don't worry about it, guys. So you take the 4 of these and you place them face down in your damage zone. Normally, when you're when you play ZX, at least when I play ZX, we don't actually use this mat. It's just for purposes to demonstrate how the battlefield looks and stuff. Because this mat is actually very bad. For starters, the cards don't even fit in the squares. Like the cards are bigger than the squares. I don't even know why. And then all the zones are like half cut off. So I have no idea why it looks like this, but we'll just have to deal with it. So maybe I'll find some day to print a mat that's like properly sized and stuff. But for now, this will have to do. So there's 4 here. They take the top 2 cards of your deck and add them into your mana. So okay, this player is done. Alright, he's done all his preparations. Now I'm gonna play for the white player. So let's draw 1, 2, 3, 4. This hand is decent, I guess. It's good for a rush hand. So I can say, okay, I keep. Actually, for demonstration's sakes, let's say, alright, this hand sucks. And it actually doesn't. It's actually very good. So I'll say, okay, I'm mulliganing. Watch me mull into a shitty hand. It's probably gonna happen, Alright. could be worse. It's actually very bad now. Anywho, so okay, I say, alright, regardless if it's good or not, you don't have a choice, you have to keep it. So likewise, the other player will take the top 4 cards of his or her deck, place them in his or her damage. Or, as in this game, it's called life, which makes sense, right? And then take top 2 cards of your deck and put it into your resource. Cool, now you guys are ready to start the game. Put these over here. Actually, I'll put the decks off screen. The decks are supposed to be placed here and here, but you can place them wherever you want. So yeah, I hope better not get these cards mixed up. This is going to suck a lot if I get these cards mixed up. Alright, so start the game, rock, paper, scissors, roll a dice, flip a coin, etc., etc. The person going first does not get to draw. It's a downside and an upside. The downside is that, well, you don't get to draw. And the upside is that you get to start with more mana. Now, that's important because if you start with 3 mana and they're starting with 2, you can immediately react to something that they do for 3 mana if you have one. And, yeah. But for starters, let's just say, alright, this is my hand. Say green went first, like, oh, rock, paper, yeah, there you go. That makes sense. And then green's going first. So, okay, let's play down a mana. And I guess I'll have them play a card. Because this card, the reason why you see 2 start cards here, unlike Vanguard, a starting Vanguard is actually just very good in general. Because they always have abilities to activate when they die. So I'm just gonna, stick them here and attack. So let's go through what happened there. At the start of the turn, if you're going first, you don't get to draw. So you skip that phase. Then you go to your mana phase, where you can select 1 card in your hand and add it to your mana. So normally you want to select the least life card, or if you're playing green, you'd select whatever card you want because you can just salvage it back later. Yeah, I know, I'm making green sound good, and it is. So, alright, this card, let's say, okay, this card's not too great, I could do without it, so put it into my mana. Now you see I have 3 cards here, and then you see this card is green. You see the green border, and then there's a symbol here that means it's green. If you have a black card, you have a different symbol, so I'm not sure you guys can see that. There's a different symbol here. Okay. So this is all my main phase, and then my main phase. In my main phase, I will go tap 3. Since this card is a green card, I needed to make sure I tapped 1 green mana, which is this card, and 2 mana of any color. It doesn't really matter. So it doesn't matter at all, actually. So I shouldn't say it doesn't really matter. So 3. Select the card in my hand that has 3 cost because I have to tap 3 mana. Then I play it. You can play it anywhere on the battlefield. See, the reason why this is bad is that I have to basically put this card behind here in order for me to have a card here without it being like really squished. Okay, so I played a card. Alright, you can play this anywhere. You can play this here, 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 here. The only space you cannot occupy is your opponent's player square. So say I want to play here. That's for reasons, it's a defensive aggressive reason because anyways, that's not important, so I'm just teaching you guys how to play. So, alright, I'll be like, okay, I played a card, now I'm entering my battle phase. Now, when you enter your battle phase, see, you may declare an attack. So, I declare. Your opponent may activate an ability with this symbol. Here, I'll show you, I have one in my hand. This orange symbol. See if the camera focuses. No, it doesn't focus. This symbol basically means activate. It's the orange symbol that says hey, hey 동거 hey, if you're Kanto, and if you're Mano qi dong the qi, and if you're Japanese, I don't know how to say it. It's yeah. Anyways, so yeah, they can activate one of those, or they can activate an event in their hand. So let's just say, since that you're a 2 mana, I don't have an event. Alright, so alright, attack. Normally you just attack and then they get the choice. So I say, okay, no, it's fine. When your card dies, they go to the place known as the charge zone. Now I will move the mat down to show you guys where the charge zone is. This is your charge zone, the zone above your damage. So just put the card here. Your charge zone can hold up to 4 cards unless stated otherwise. Cards limits your ability to have charge, have more charge, etc. So the card's in the charge. Cool. Alright, now well, I'm tapped out. I got nothing else to do. I'll pass my turn. And I already cheated and drew a few extra cards, so it's fine. Here, I'll just shuffle this one back. Alright, so it's like draw for turn, and then he has a grip full of cards. 6 cards compared to the opponent's 3 cards. Now, you might think, like, well, that's so stupid. Going first just means you lose, doesn't it? Not really. If you're playing, like, trial deck versus trial deck, then probably. But otherwise, it doesn't really matter. Alright, normally, I wouldn't use this card in the ignition, in the charge slot, but I'll use it just to show you guys how to do it. So, time to read off this. Step 1, choose one card from your charge and put into the trash. One card in charge, put in trash. Trash is basically your graveyard. There's a graveyard here. Time to move this mat back up so you guys can see it. Yeah, this mat is really awkward. It's more fat, like it's fatter than a mat this way, but it's shorter this way, so it doesn't actually fit well on this camera, so sorry guys. Or unless you guys want to see like a wooden floor, which doesn't actually look very nice, does it? Okay, anywho, and then now, you may reveal the top card of your deck. Revealing the top card of my deck. Alright, well, this card isn't an ignition, so let me find one and stack it on top of my deck, just to prove a point. I should have done that while I was shuffling. Oh, so stupid. Reveal the top card of your deck, and if this card is an ignition trait, so, is it an ignition trait? Well, you look here and check for this symbol. Ding, it's an ignition trait. Then you may play this card for free. And I realize I screwed this up because I skipped a step. But it's okay. I'll explain it later. Alright, so you may play this for its cost here, which is 0. So if you flip the top card and it's ignition, you may play it anywhere on the field. And since, you know, your player square is undefended, you generally want to play it on your player square. Okay. And then you're like, oh yeah, now time to do the getting in there. And you realize, oh shit, I don't have enough mana to play this card. Gasp. And then, because I missed the step, basically. The steps are draw, mana, and ignition, and main. So, since I already drew and I ignitioned, I am unable to mana again. Oh, snap. Well, whatever. I go with it, right? All that good stuff. So, once again, like the other player did, you would declare an attack by tapping your card. And then, well, since the green player is tapped out, what can he do? Nothing. So he'll just, let it die. Cool. Okay, now, since he can't do anything else, he'll just pass. So, you go untap, drawing 2 cards, and then mana phase. I'll choose something to mana. Let's say I don't want this, even though I do, but just for sake. Alright, I'll say I don't want this. All right. And, well, I could play this card, but I kind of want to use an event. La 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 la. I will pass. Alright. How to play is different than how to play. I know that doesn't make any sense, but you guys know what I mean. So I'm gonna pass. Be the lame green black player you are and pass. Alright, so untap. Draw 2. And I will place 1 card from my hand into my mana, which is most likely going to be this yellow card. Someone just knocked on my window, which is really awkward, but okay, it's fine. Alright, now, same thing. Ignition, I can't. Nothing has died yet. Fuck. Whatever, I'll just ignore it. Now I have a really big hand, right? So I'm just gonna be like, okay. So, now you get to choose to play a card or not. I'm just going to say, for demonstration's sake, that I'm going to play a card. Same old, same old. And then now I'll attack. Now, since the green player left all his mana open, it probably means he has a card. In fact, he has a card right here that can do something. Now, the start cards have an ability that activates the charge. If you can see it vaguely, let's see. Focus. No, you can't really see it. We see this orange thing, right? This is the activate ability, and there's a green symbol and a 4. Now, it doesn't mean you have to play 4 green. It just means to pay 4 cost worth of green, which means 1 green and 3 colorless. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, tap, activate this card's effect, send it to trash, and then use its effect to send this mana. Because that's what its effect does. Okay, now, Well, I'm tapped out, you're tapped out, alright, I'll pass. Now, this tutorial will end very shortly, because I just need to go over one more thing. It's important to remember that you can only activate an activate ability or an event during your opponent's battle phase or your main phase. Now, one reason why this is important is because I will show you in a second. So, say black player draws and says, alright, I'm going to mana. I don't want this card. Gonna play a card, attack. Since he's tapped out, he can't do anything. Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Skipping. Okay, next turn. In games like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering, not Vanguard though, you are able to do things at any point in their turn, which is annoying a little. But in ZX, it's kind of different. So, white player will draw for turn. Send a card to mana, whatever. Yeah. Okay, it's not an ignition trait, because you see there's no ignition symbol, so it goes straight to trash. Now you go, okay, so I need a card that can kill that, but for the sake of my demonstration, I will, cheat a little. Actually no, screw it, let's do this. Let's play a card, and since my card is not strong enough, I will not attack it, so whatever, I'll pass, because I can't do anything else, right? Alright, so it's my opponent's turn. His mana untaps, and then he goes, okay, mana untaps, draw 2 cards, play a mana, and then this is what a typical Magic game would happen. You would go, play event, tap 3 of your mana, so now your opponent is limited to using 3 mana. Now the thing is, this card has had a lot of questions to it. The card's effect is 1 cost, you may tap down 3 of your opponent's mana. Now, this would be very broken, but because of the way this game is made, it doesn't work that way. Because you can only activate this event on your turn or your opponent's battle phase. So, unless he was going to go attack first, and then you used it right away to tap his mana, you wouldn't be able to use it. So, we have to redo that, right? Because that's not allowed. So, okay, so my opponent does that, right? He goes, attack first, which in most cases is a smart idea. In response, I will activate an event. Just because you're being attacked by something doesn't mean your event has to only interact with that. I can clearly just go interact with this, send, tap 3 of your mana, and my card dies. And then the black player looks at his hand and says, "Shit, I don't have a 3-cost card. I was going to play the 6-cost card and attack directly, but I can't now. So he'll be forced to pass." So he passes. And then now it's back to your turn. So, overall, if you guys didn't get how to play, well, I'm sorry, I'm bad at explaining, but you will get it once you start playing. Generally, the concept of this is you go draw phase, mana phase, ignition phase, main phase, battle phase. What I'm going to cover again is how many battle phases and how many main phases you get. So let's just say, for example, I decided to play this card here and not attack for some goddamn reason. Alright, it doesn't really matter. I just need situations that, work. Alright, so black player's turn, untap, and draw. Because generally the situations, they don't happen very often because it's early in the game. Normally, like multiple main phases only happen later in the game because you don't have the mana to support all these cards. Okay, so let's say, alright, okay, I will attack. So I went from draw phase, ignition phase, draw phase, mana phase, ignition phase, main phase, battle phase, attack. So, okay, if you can see, my doggy here has 6,000 to the angel's 8,000, right? So that means this card's power is now reduced to 2,000. There's no repercussion into attacking into something bigger, so it's all good. Alright, now, okay, so now what, Chan? Alright, so I'll show you what. So I'm going to play a second card, and then attack again. And you'll be like, whoa, you already attacked. And I'll be like, yeah, that's how this game works. In this game, you get as many battle phases and as many main phases as you want per turn. You can go attack, main phase, play something, battle phase, attack again. So attack again. Alright. This dies. and you're like, whoa, 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 and okay, so la 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 la. Okay, turn ends. All right, white player's turn. I'm just gonna show you a few more scenarios where things are going to happen. All right, so this hand is semi set up to do what I needed to explain. So let's see if I get some ignitions off this. And I do. Sure, I get a Voidbringer. Close enough. Close enough. Let's see, how can I make this work? I need this, this, and this. Sure, I'll play this card here and attack. I forgot to mana. Let's just pretend I did that. Attack this. Okay, this card dies. La 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 di da la 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 la. Okay, I'm gonna pass. Green player's turn. Draws for turn. I'm being very crude about this because it's hard. In my opinion, it's really hard to think about both players' actions on the same turn, like at the same time. So, all right. Let's see. What do I need this to do? Okay, I'm gonna play this card here. I think this is how it's gonna work. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna play this card here. Tap 3. Wait, no. That worked just fine. That worked just fine. Yeah. Actually, no, it doesn't. Screw it. Screw it. Just gonna play this card and pretend like it doesn't cost mana. Alright. So, okay. So, say you go main phase, right? You go main phase, you attack. Main phase, then battle phase. You attack, and then the white player responds with this card. He will add power to his card so that it doesn't die. You cannot respond with your own spell. You cannot respond with, like, okay, then activate this in response and kill your card. Because of how ZX works, you can only play events during your main phase or your battle phase. Of course, in this situation, it doesn't really matter too much, but then in other situations, it does. So you have to understand that when you have a card here and a card here, you know, he uses an event to protect his card, you can't just go chain, because chains don't, from what the rules say, it seems like chains don't work, because during your main phase, your opponent cannot activate things. But during your battle phase, your opponent can activate things, but you can't. Weird, isn't it? Unless there's an effect that activates in the battle phase, which I haven't seen yet. But I'm sure Red has something crazy along those lines. So yeah. So say he adds power, you're like, okay, fine. Main phase, and kill it. So it dies. So, yeah. It's gonna, you know, do another quick attack, and this card dies. Cool beans. And then, you know, okay. White player's turn, draws. I know it sounds pretty racist because I'm saying white player all the time and black player, but hey, don't worry about it. It's the card types. So he's gonna play a card and he's gonna attack. Blah blah blah. He's gonna attack. Blah 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 blah. And then this player draws. God damn it! I wish my hand was better so that I could actually do something about this. Oh, this card's dead. Too bad I can't really do much about killing them right now. Alright, I'm just gonna have to sack some ignitions. Alright, so I'm gonna use an ignition. Excellent. Now I'll use it again. Excellent. I am amazing at this game. Alright, so I'm going to attack, and then, you know, this card dies. And then since this player square is now exposed, I can play a card. I'm gonna play this card to be fancy. Play this card, activate its effect, kill this card, and then make them discard a card because that's the card's effect. So I was gonna, you know, whatever. I don't want this card anyways. I didn't want it. Whatever, dude. I'm gonna attack. All right, and then they're gonna take the top card of their damage, the top card, like the very top card, and flip it over. If it has an ignition trait, it works the same way, and then they can activate their effect. So since it doesn't, it's gonna go straight into charge. And then now I can play another card and attack again. It's gonna be like once again. Yeah, this one is, you know, this is an ignition trait. So he's gonna be like, I'm going to put it somewhere else. I'm gonna put it here. And then you might be wondering, oh yeah, you should go kill him some more. Kill him, right? Kill him, bro, kill him. The thing is, in ZX, you are not allowed to play over a card if it's a rest. So you can't like play over a card and attack again. You can only play over a card if it's in the reboot position, which is the standing position. So you can't go like play over and attack again, because then that would be really stupid. You can just go Voidbringer, attack, play over, Voidbringer, attack, play over, Voidbringer, attack, and then that's kind of stupid, right? So yeah, so these are just some quick rules. I hope you guys learned how to play. If not, you know, I'll probably try to do some more interactive tutorials, I guess. With like, I'll film a match and I'll go through the things briefly and whatnot. But generally, when you watch people play and you watch this really crudely done tutorial, and then you're like, oh, I kind of get what's happening now, yeah, then it kind of works. So after watching this, you guys should go back and watch some games I played with Stanley, and you guys should understand how to play ZX a bit more. So yeah, stay tuned for part 4, where I talk about basically nothing. Yeah, because there won't be a part 4. Alright, so this is Chan's tutorial into ZX, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be bringing more ZX content, and I already have like a little bit of trade binder stuffs already get it together, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, this is Chan for Digital Skill, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!